Welcome, everybody, to episode 264 of the effing title. I am Big Husky.
And I'm Big Hoodie.
And this is Big Daddy.
Big
I don't even
Daddy.
know if you know who this is.
I don't.
So this is a little bit of
this is you as a magic character.
Dude, imagine. No, he's blue. I'd be green. I'd be green-white.
Okay.
I think. But, so, as you can see, we've already gotten, when I say we, I mean the everyone but DeNutte, because DeNutte really hasn't seen any of this stuff yet. DeNutte's going in blind in this. We're talking about MagicCon. Vegas, baby.
Vegas, baby.
Vegas, baby.
Oh, actually, I guess, so what happens in Vegas doesn't stay in Vegas.
Yeah, it's not staying there anymore. So they did MagicCon Vegas, they did the preview panel, or as they're calling it, the foundations of a new era. There was 2 videos, by the way. I chose this one because I thought this one was more interesting than the other one.
Okay.
So
is this mostly about foundations? Is that what?
So the other one is mostly about foundations.
Okay.
The other one's the other one is literally an hour long, and it's just about the foundation set.
Which is good because I mean we had a lot of speculation. Actually,
exactly.
when first released,
we like the idea,
like,
but
I don't know if I like it. And then when we saw it the second time, it was like, oh, this actually seems pretty good.
It makes sense now. And then so they go into it in the video we're about to watch. For everyone that doesn't know, we're about to watch a video. Class, we're about to watch a video.
Pull up TV.
Yep.
I can move it, teacher. I'm strong.
They're going to talk about foundations a little bit, but the other one is like just talking about foundations, which is interesting because there are some things that I'm wondering if they're going to hit on this, because there's some changes they're making to the actual game of Magic with foundations.
To like all Magic?
All of Magic. And it is, from what I've seen, it's just people being confused because it's like, didn't need to be changed.
At least they're not mad.
No, not yet. Not yet.
Confused? You know what?
Confused.
I've not heard that before. Confused?
Yeah.
You know, I think that because it's almost like you're like, let's see what happens.
Yes, exactly.
They're not like, how dare you? Unlike the all the bands they made. Commander.
Yeah, the most recent wave of bands. Yeah, where now WotC now has full control of it. Yeah. So there's some things. It involves combat damage, and around like multi-blocking primarily. It's one of those sort of things. So like if I block with 2 creatures and you attack, I block with 2, you would normally get to assign damage. And then like let's say you assign damage, and then I'm like, oh well, I'm gonna play an instant, and I'm just gonna kill that thing. Bang, dead. Right?
Yeah.
Like now you can be like, oh well, actually, never mind. I'm gonna have it kill that thing instead.
Oh, but I mean that like takes away.
It gives them just another like, oh well, I'm gonna do this then. Like
they can just go, never mind.
Yeah, I like I said, this was just from what I saw. I haven't fully seen it yet because I didn't watch the other one. This is just what I've seen some other creators talking about, but it doesn't like, it just sounds unnecessary and just kind of like a oh well, I guess I'm gonna backtrack now sort of thing. But yeah, so I don't know if we really need it, but I'm excited about some of the stuff they're announcing, and I think some of the stuff they're announcing is dumb. I'm gonna say it right now. So for everyone that doesn't know, this came out this weekend. We're doing it a day or 2 after it came out. Mm-hmm. This video wasn't live originally. They were just releasing stuff on Twitter. So I was looking through Twitter, seeing all the different stuff, and as I was looking through it, I was sending stuff to different people. And I'm like, this is cool, this is dumb, this is cool, this is dumb, this is really dumb. That's kind of how I felt the entire way through. But, I mean, that's how I felt the last year about Magic. So, I mean...
I think that's like a pretty, general
not
kind of an outlier feeling.
Yeah, I think that's how we are now, just in general.
Yeah.
One massive, I don't care, but that's just because it's me. So...
Because I got a Duskmorn bundle, and I was pretty disappointed with it. Like, everything I got. Like... The cards looked really cool. I think I got 1 mythic in 8 packs.
It's been very odd recently, the product has. And they do show and I had it here, I don't know which one of these
I know it sounds stupid, but like, I think the most valuable card I got out of the whole thing, if you throw a value number at it, was $3.
Yeah. So I'll do this real quick, kind of a little bit of a spoiler for what we have going on here. We will be seeing this later on in the video, so it doesn't really matter. But so the first set we're getting is Aether Drift in the next year. That's the first set. Then we're going to Tarkir. Then we are doing Final Fantasy.
Get that reference.
Edge of Eternities, Spider-Man, and then an Unannounced Universes Beyond. So a nice little kind of preview for what we're about to see. But, like I said, there's some things that I think are cool, and then there's some things that I'm just like, I just genuinely don't care. So, but, that being said, let's stop this, and let's get to actually watching, and let's see what we got going on here, yeah?
Yeah.
The Foundations of Magic's Next Era, that's what they're calling this thing. I like how they're twisting the Foundations part in, with that being the next set. But yeah, so this is what we got, though, so here we go.
Please welcome Global Play
So take a shot for every time they say Foundations.
Ken True.
Oh, yeah.
Drinking game.
All right, as much.
Hello, everyone.
We'll leave it. I was about to be like,
yeah,
just skip right through it.
It is so wonderful to see all
Here's
of you.
a side note. This is fun. I just got a pair of pants that same color. I love that color.
My name is Ken True. I'm the Global Play Lead / General Manager for Magic the Gathering. I've had the privilege and honor of working on this game for most of the last 20 years.
So it's his fault.
One of the things we talk about a lot at Wizards and in the Magic Studio is that Magic is for everyone. Yes, that deserves a lot of applause.
Okay, so I'm gonna just turn it down every now and then when I want to speak. There's some things that they talk about and that they're going to be using as catch lines and catchphrases here in the next little bit.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That are bad.
We talk about
Oh, did you watch this already?
No. So I've seen them. Like I've seen them in
professional
around.
lives working on Magic. We think it's the best game ever. And we
is
want to
it
see
like
it
a
grow.
bad thing where I'm like, this guy's too much? He's got too big of CEO energy to like think he cares about Magic.
To Magic's growth,
it's just,
and that truth that Magic is for everyone. We've had some delightful sets.
I like the idea that they do with all this stuff with doing the big conventions, showing all the stuff. But a lot of people don't want this. They just want show us the cards, talk about the new things, and then let's get this going with, right?
Yeah, it's like they want it'd be like we want an Xbox showcase.
Yes.
Or a PlayStation showcase. Old school E3.
Because that's the thing is this is an hour and 1 minute long.
We have the largest number of stores enrolled in our Wizards Play Network than ever before.
And 5 minutes of it is this. Right off rip.
Large-scale competitive events to the world.
Yeah.
And this MagicCon,
I will say, it does, as he's saying, large scale, it does seem like there's more and more TCG stores than ever.
Look, I mean, I think COVID had a big thing to do with that.
Yeah.
Right, which is interesting because really you need to be able to sit down and play.
I have.
But
it
added to it.
I feel like it did because there's so many by me now, and there's new ones popping up still.
There's talks of one coming into my town.
Okay.
Yeah, game over for me if that happens.
I know, and you gotta make friends.
He was the showrunner of what for most people at Wizards considers the very best season of Picard. He was the recently announced showrunner for the new Marvel series Vision Quest. And most important for our purposes, he was the recently announced showrunner of the recently announced Netflix Magic show. So please join me.
Huh? Yeah, how about that?
Okay.
Please join me in welcoming Terry Metalis.
Yeah, Magic the Gathering Netflix show.
All right, then should be some love in that.
Wow, look at this. Okay, so I gotta just tell you how exciting it is to be with actual Magic fans right now. Because the thing that you don't know,
the one guy in the back,
the big secret is I've been working on this since July of last year.
Wow.
And because it was such a secretive project, we would be in secret doors at Netflix and nobody really knew that we were working on it. But it's been this incredible thing that is actually happening for sure. We have been.
Like I said, for sure, because it's been canceled like 3 times.
Too.
Oh, really?
I have to say, that's unlike any IP that's come from games or anything else into television or film. Is Netflix and Hasbro and Wizards really did this right. Before we wrote word one of a script, we got in a room with my writers from.
That's me in the back going, "What's word one?"
Picard season 3, and we immersed ourselves for 10 weeks in every card, every deck, every art book.
Okay,
before we
don't
wrote
believe
a single
it.
word.
I don't fucking believe it at all.
It really is
imagine
about
animated,
fans bringing this
I'm going to assume so.
fans. So we're really excited about that.
We love that. The Netflix released this image a couple weeks ago.
Yeah,
what can
this-
you tell
Yes.
us?
So is it-
Unpack what's going on here a little
so
bit,
confirmed
please.
Netflix.
Yes,
Well, they
confirmed.
won't.
Netflix. Yes.
I begged. They won't let me tell you too much yet.
So I mean, so that's the
about,
Johnny and Chandra.
the
So-
show, but you can
That's-
see who our 2 main characters are.
Oh, they're
for
the main.
sure.
Oh,
There's Chandra.
okay.
There's a Johnny.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah, come on. A Johnny needs more of something, guys. Come on.
Johnny, we found out, was a sleeper agent, bro. Like, if you've been spending the last 10 weeks
And I
looking
was-
into cards,
I'm
you
gonna-
should know
I'm
this.
gonna out something.
Okay, out with it. Let's hear it.
If the camera were to move just this way to the right, you might see Jace. So we're
Okay.
So we're excited. There's
Yeah,
all.
I
That was
like-
okay
you
that
might
you
see
sure
him.
that was okay to say?
I don't know that it's okay.
Okay, okay.
I'm
don't-
about to find out when
right.
I go back there. But there's many
No,
more.
like-
I'm the
I'm
kind
a
of
s-
Magic
like, no,
fan
like,
that when I play,
I'm gonna say this.
I turn
No
over
shit.
the back of the card,
Jace is
read
there,
the
right?
stories of the characters. I'm like, whoa, this is really cool. He was infected by Phyrexians, and I'm like, are you gonna play? Play your card. So that's the thing that I love the most about what Wizards has done, and this is Magic is your way into any kind of story you want to tell. Fantasy, science fiction, romance, thriller, horror. It's so cool to be able to be in this sandbox, but then come at it through these amazing characters that have already been established in canon.
That is amazing.
So
Thank you so much, Terry, for
My
sharing
pleasure.
your thoughts. We
They
will share
both-
more there soon.
He
And
seems
now,
kind of
to
enthused.
the main event. We're going to hand it over to this great
The big
panelist
man
who
there
will be through
felt
2025.
just like he was
Thank
there.
you all
He's like,
for
"Yep,
being
so,
here,
all right."
And we hope
We
you
brought
have a
him in.
fantastic MagicCon. Thank you.
That guy, he actually seems pretty jazzed about it. So
Yeah, like, I'm okay with that. Like, I mean, I like it, Johnny. Johnny's dope. Chandra's a badass. Like, yeah, send it. The thing that sucks for me is my favorite character will not be in the show. So that's the one that
Please
sucks.
welcome to the stage.
who's your favorite character? Actually, I don't know.
Kamal the Pit Fighter.
Okay.
So Kamal is like from Odyssey. Oh, what did he just
Before we
say?
get started, I
Hold on,
That's
sorry.
what
want
that
to hear
sounded
again. Las Vegas.
He might need
Before we get
to.
started, I want to hear again. Who's excited for
This
Magic
dude
Gathering on
does
Netflix?
all the stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does all the stuff.
I am
Yeah, no, Kamal the
so
Pit Fighter is
stoked
my
to see
favorite,
this come to
but he's
life.
from like Odyssey,
Now,
which
I'm
is
gonna tell you a
from
little
way back
secret.
in the day,
So if
and he
you're
dies.
interested
So
in signing, so Terry Metalis, he's
Spoiler
not just
alert
here
for everyone
to get a
watching.
little spiel here. He's going to be signing autographs 5:30 to 6:30.
So we
in
got the
room
game designer, the
S113.
VP of game design,
So if you looked at the signing
the
schedule,
VP
it's
of
a
creator,
mystery guest. That's Terry.
the head designer.
So Terry's great. If
And
you
I
want to
did
go,
see what the last
bring
one
something
was
to sign.
when they just
He's
showed the
gonna
panel.
be there. You can ask him
this is
questions that he absolutely will
Who
not be
designer?
able to answer about the
Yeah,
show.
like the
But
game
you can
designer,
share your
like the
fandom
dude
of
that's
the other
always.
things he's
I forgot what his
worked
name is.
on,
I think it's
like
Mark
we said.
Rosewater. I think it is.
The best season of Picard inside the building. We love that season. So yeah,
I'm kinda growing more
113,
nervous now about this
5:30
show.
to 6:30.
With them
But
saying
now,
about bringing up Picard so much.
Talking to you for the remainder of our 50-ish minutes. Let's bring on Aaron Forsyth, Jackie Jones, Mark Hagan, and Mark Rosewater.
Yes, it's Mark Rosewater. Oh, and the VP of collectibles.
Okay.
Welcome, welcome. All right. So this whole panel is framed around the foundations of the next era of Magic, and that's really how we're thinking about this. We are going to talk a little bit about foundations right up front, and then we are going to talk about how that set is coloring all of the decisions that we're making going forward, including Jackie. I want to, before we get off, Netflix, you've been really involved with the creative, with Terry and his team. How excited are you for this project?
I feel like I could gush all day about how I'm excited about the project.
I like the pins.
I feel like
there's all the different
we're all
colors.
Here
Those are cool.
At MagicCon because Magic is an incredible game, but I think we're all here because Magic is more than a game to all of us. I think. Yes.
Yeah.
Is it more than a game to you, DeNutte? Is it?
Magic is a community of incredible people. Magic is an immersive experience. Magic is a way for us all.
Wait, what was that?
There's still so much I don't know. Sorry, I'm holding a little baby boy up.
Yeah, you had the little baby boy.
A little baby boy.
So hungry for opportunities to immerse ourselves even more in the incredible worlds that we create and characters that we build, and I think we want to share that with other people and show them how amazing Magic is, and I think that to me is the promise of the Netflix show, is to be able to do that at an unbelievable scale. And I think in doing something as big as the show, there's no point of doing it unless
it's kind of crazy
right.
to think about.
And I think that is why it's taken a long time to get where we are today.
It's kind of crazy to think about this real quick.
Magic
the Gathering.
We wanted to make sure that we had the right creators, that we
League of
were
Legends,
telling the right type of story, and having
Tomb Raider,
and his
all have
team,
animated series,
he is,
but Overwatch does not.
About the brand, about the game, and I just can't wait to be able to share that with everybody.
I've been saying that one for years now, though.
In fact, that I skipped over introducing everyone. I said their names. Now, I know you're all true fans. You know who these people are, right? Yeah?
I know 3 of them.
We're going to introduce them anyway. This is going to go up on YouTube later. But let's tell us a little bit about what each of you does for Magic.
Yeah, the collectibles guy's the guy I don't know.
I'm Aaron. I'm the vice president of game design. So I have a giant team that's made up of 2 halves. The first is the game design half, of which Mark Rosewater is a pillar of that. But it has all of the vision design, set design, what we call play design, where we do all of our intense testing. All of our former pro players are on that team. We have a casual play design team.
See, that is one thing I do find kind of cool, is they have 2 play design teams, which is like part of them are pros and part of them are just the casual dudes.
Led by Jackie.
Yes.
Which is good,
because
it's like...
I lead the creative team for Magic. We are
I would say we're casual dudes.
Interdisciplinary team of world-class creatives, from narrative designers and writers to art directors and illustrators to graphic designers, producers, who all bring our different gifts and crafts together to create the amazing characters and world stories and art that really brings Magic as a game and as a brand to life.
Beautiful. I'm Mark Hagan. I'm the VP of Collectibles. That's a group within Wizards that handles a lot of our specialty cards. So we have a Booster Fun team who's doing all of our showcase treatments and art, and a print innovation team who's kind of figuring out new ways to produce cards.
So this is the guy and the reason why cards cost so much.
A lot of different things that I can touch.
And so many cards are just booty.
I'm Mark Rosewater. I'm
MVP. Mark.
I am the head designer of Magic.
He looks like he plays Magic.
Yeah, this dude is the head designer. Like Mark is the dude.
Is my 29th anniversary working on Magic full time.
How about that?
You see the one guy doing this? He's
I make a lot of content about Magic. So
29 years.
You like, I make that content.
That's insane.
Well, that's how you know we're serious. This panel, that we have so much great information to share you, because we have some heavy hitters up here. We are.
I think you can get it online.
Start by talking about, again, Foundations is. I'm going to use this pun a lot, so I'm not even going to excuse it. It's foundational for what we're doing.
No one needs to know.
Tell us about why
so Foundation for learning, Foundation for your collection, Foundation for world building.
Yeah, so Foundations is a card set that comes out in a few weeks. There have been a lot of attempts to kind of create the quintessential Magic experience, that shows off all that Magic has to offer. I mean, obviously Alpha, the very first set Richard Garfield made, did that. When I started playing, it was the revised edition that just felt like, what Magic is and was. I helped work on Magic 2010. I thought that was a pretty good shot at capturing that. We've done the first time we went back to Dominaria. That set I felt was very quintessential. But the problem with all those sets is that they're sets. They come and they go. For core sets, we had to try to make a new one every single year, and so finding the best one, the most perfect one, it kind of didn't matter because it was going to be gone, and we'd have to come up with another one the following year. So we said, what if that wasn't the case? Let's come up with a product that shows what Magic is, that we get right, and that we just leave on the shelf for the world to come to whenever they want to over the next however many years that may be. We don't need it rotating out.
I like the idea.
Replacing itself.
I hate the wording.
Make it and say this is it. Whenever you want to start now, you want to start later, you're already a tournament player.
I'm looking at the Foundation's beginner box. It's actually pretty solid for what it is.
And,
a lot of the beginner stuff, like I only bought a collector booster or pre-ordered a collector booster.
The debut for Foundation.
A lot of them are actually like decently priced,
the panel after
and
this one.
actually a good amount of stuff.
Half an hour after we're finished here, but we're going to show a little bit. Mark,
2 playmats,
Right?
2 decks.
Before we get to the card.
Yeah.
Build.
So, one of the things we've been from the very beginning, since I remember the first day I walked in the office, we were like, how do we teach people Magic? We have what we call the barrier to entry. Like, Magic's a lot of fun, there's a lot of depth, but it's intimidating to learn. And if you look at early Magic, we tried things like the Arc system, where we didn't even have 5 colors. Or then we did Portal, but we only had creatures and lands and sorceries. And we kept trying to sort of introduce it by making it as simple as possible. And I think the big shift for us is, it's at the end of the first game, why does someone want to play the second game? It's not because they understand everything.
And spend too much money
it's
on
because it's exciting. And the philosophy of Foundations is, look, let's introduce all the cool things Magic has to offer, and it's okay if it's a little bit overwhelming. If it's exciting enough, you'll pick it up. And maybe at the end of the first game, you don't know everything. That is fine. There's a lot to learn.
Quintessential Magic IP set.
So the philosophy of Foundations
it's going to be standard legal through 2029.
Let's not dumb it down. Let's not simplify it. Let's, on every level,
it's 5 years.
That includes mechanics and creative.
Yeah, so that's the thing. Is that's the thing is
Magic is the
interesting. Is like I've seen some of the cards.
Speaking of what's cool,
oof.
We may recognize this character right up here. Solemn Simulacrum is back. Tell us about this card.
Can we pause for a second?
One of the things we want to do, Magic has a very rich history, and we wanted to play into that. So this card was the
Solemn
prize
Simulacrum
made by Jens Turen at a Magic Invitational. It was
it says buy a box at the bottom of
it by the audience because Jens.
So when it enters battlefield, search the library for basic land, put it on the battlefield, tap. When this creature dies, you get to draw a card.
Card. I know Commander, it's seen a lot of play, and so it not just is a cool Magic thing, it is part of Magic's history. And this is a good example of what we're trying to do with Foundations. We want to show off the depth.
I've seen a
and
couple
the
cards that are in
Foundations
that should not be in Foundations.
Yeah.
I'm going to say that right now.
We talked about mixing simplicity and excitement, which I think brings us to our next card.
I would say this card is the buy a box promo for.
Yeah, if you squint, you can see it at the bottom.
Yeah,
there.
that's why
buy a box.
It's full art.
So if you buy a booster box, you get that.
The cool thing about Foundations, knowing that we were going to let it ride for many, many years, we put a lot of time into the product suite. So not only is there the normal draftable booster set, like most every other set we make, there's also a couple new products called the beginner's box, the starter collection, which is a whole bunch of cards for a reasonable price
that
like lets you dive right in and start building decks right away.
Yeah,
I'm sure the next
honestly, all of them seem, if you're new to the game of Magic or you want to get into Magic, or if you don't have a big collection, honestly, buying either the starter kit or the buy a box thing, those are solid.
And in regular packs, Mark, tell us about Refute.
So one of the things about Foundation is about half of it is reprints, old cards we're bringing back, but half of it's brand new. And one of the reasons that what new let us do was we could kind of fix things. So for example, Cancel used to, way back when it was Counterspell, but then Cancel was our go-to Counterspell.
And now
it turned out that Cancel it's not quite good enough. It didn't really see the play we wanted. So the idea
a Counterspell isn't good enough.
Cancel.
So they upgraded it.
One blue, and it still counts as your spell, but it does a little bit extra because it turned out that cancel wasn't quite good enough to see competitive play. So we made a nice, clean, but slightly better cancel.
Yeah. Cool.
You get to draw a card and discard a card afterwards.
Card to show you. This one's
no.
pretty exciting. Let's throw up Herald of Eternal Dawn.
You can't lose. Your opponent can't win.
So another thing that we did. Oh, you got to read it.
Flash flying. Ooh.
Another thing that we did is we went back and looked at the history of Magic and said, what do people enjoy? What have we done before? Platinum Angel, as an example, is a really popular card. So we did a lot of new cards that played into themes that people like. So some of our new content, while it's new, it's definitely playing into themes that we have been popular.
I was wondering why this card seemed familiar to me.
There's a lot of.
So what they're doing is they're taking a lot of the older cards and then twisting them into something new.
I know the Foundations team said, what's the most amazing
adding
thing
more
about
stuff.
Magic?
Yeah, adding more stuff or changing things like Platinum Angel, I think, if I remember correctly, is an artifact.
What?
Right?
Did it really need Flash?
And now it has Flash.
I think I'm gonna kill you. I think I would have killed you.
I'm gonna swing for Teth and no Flash.
So I want to now turn
That is
to
just a
Jackie
funny card.
because
Can't lose and they
Foundations
can't
is going to
win.
be with us for a long time. And it's meant to be both an introductory project and core to people's Magic experience. That sounds like a challenge on the world building and creative side.
Yeah. I think one of the most exciting parts for the creative team for working on Foundations was it was a really different type of creative challenge for us. I think so much of what the creative team does is very forward-looking.
I can only imagine
like, what is the new thing? How are we going to innovate? How are we going to invent something new?
How difficult.
And I think Foundations.
How difficult something like that must be, right? Because like building a world itself is tough, but now you're like, okay, we're going to do the foundations for the next 5 years. So take all 30 years we've had and build off of it, and like just make one set. Oh, it's Kato. I like Kato.
Before us have created. And
yeah, he's from Neon,
think through,
coming out of Neon Dynasty.
The beloved
and he's got the little raccoon.
And iconic
he's also in
the
Duskmorn.
Incredible art style that really is
Liliana.
so intrinsic to the game itself. And say,
I don't know how I feel about the mask on her though.
All of the best things that we've ever done that are part of Magic and creatively put them all in this one box together and
you can't look down though.
Update it for what that would look like now, today, in 2024, and what would we want
if they
that
do
to
animation
be,
for this
and
Netflix show with her fire, that's going to be
to
insane looking.
People, what would that look like?
If they get the right budget, which is Hasbro, they should,
It was this exercise in being able to honor the legacy of Magic that is so important, while at the same time
also I just realized that the presentation looks like a card with a little circle on the bottom.
For us to really innovate on and build upon. And that was the challenge and the goal of Foundations as a product, as a set, but I think it really inspired more than that. Like, that's the lens through which we want to approach the next era of making Magic and how we want to carry that forward.
Yeah. So can I point one thing out?
Please.
A question I've been getting a lot. This is what we call timeline agnostic, meaning that what you're seeing could be from anywhere in Magic history.
Yeah, see, that's what I was saying.
It doesn't necessarily tell you anything about story, because it could
may not be like
a
story like the other sets at one time.
Absolutely.
It's just like here's
so we will have
it's just the history of it in
the
one.
actual set in the next panel, but it really is kind of coloring, how we think about the entire Magic ecosystem.
I'm just thinking about
making things simpler, making things cleaner, making things easier to understand, easier to communicate. So we're going to talk about a few significant changes
that I got
that
for you,
making,
and like there isn't even a symbol on it.
We're going to start Rosewater with rotation.
Yes, so we are changing how sets are going to rotate.
Okay.
We're going to start changing them so they rotate with the year.
Oh.
So when Magic first started long ago, we did blocks. The large set was always in the fall, so we rotated with that.
So standardized set rotation.
Away from that, blocks don't exist anymore.
Each calendar year, 2027.
And one of the themes is we're trying to simplify things. So starting in 2027, that's when the rotation is going to start. In 2027, it'll start with the year, and so standard will be 3 years. You don't have to remember when it started.
That's kind of cool. That makes sense.
Years. The reason we're telling you now is Bloomburrow and Duskmorn are going to rotate at the beginning of 2027, so it slightly changes when they rotate.
Yep, absolutely. So, okay, so we've got that change, cleaning up that, so it's just calendar year.
Yeah, that makes more sense because it was always one of those things that's like, oh, September of this year through.
You for a second. I don't know who put two marks on the same side of the panel, but it's going to keep throwing me off. It was me. Hagen.
It was me.
So we also want to clean up some communication stuff.
Yeah, this is one that will mean more to some of you than others. We're going to bring back MSRP. So that's...
Let's go!
Okay.
Let's go!
What I said about him.
You did it!
Yeah, take back everything.
You did it!
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's great.
That's actually insane.
Okay, guys,
Not every product.
In practice,
For many
I
products.
said the audience is going to be really excited when they say this, and they did not believe me.
We weren't sure. It could have been anywhere from like, oh, yay.
Yeah, no,
like,
after
oh
the
my
Lord
God.
of the Rings set,
When did this start? When did this
huge.
start? Hagen, tell us more.
Yeah, so we're going to start this with foundations and then continue it on for most products after that. For those of you who aren't on the front line to this is just a way for us to be more communicative with the end customer. So this is when we're making products, we just have a little bit more of a clear way to talk about what we think it'll cost all the way down the line as it gets all the way to the customer. So
yeah, because I remember when
when
the Lord of the Rings set came out,
that would help our retail partners.
The gift bundle was $90 from them on Amazon. Oh no, it was 90. It was 75. And then as soon as they released the One Ring was going to be in it, and the collection booster was in it, it went from 75 up to like fucking 200.
Yeah, I wish it's like. I'm so upset I didn't reserve it.
That's the thing. Like, that's one of the things you and me talked about, right?
So there's going to be an article. There's going to be many articles on DailyMTG.com.
But I did reserve collector boosters at $30.
Yes,
so.
you did that. I did not at the time.
Head to DailyMTG.com once this panel's done.
And then like a week later, you were like, "They're on the site. Quickly go."
Including there's going to be an article saying this news, and that will have the actual MSRP for 3 upcoming sets: Foundations, Innistrad Remaster, and Ether Drift. So
Ether Drift I've yet to see
We will
yet,
have those
which is kind of
running
annoying.
as we go along, but you'll be able to see those.
I wanted to get my pre-order in
today.
for that too, but
that's the first one, right?
Yeah, that's the first one for next year.
I mean,
so
that was a bigger response than
we are getting we're getting a remaster set.
It's funny because you can see that straight disconnect of like the and then like the actual Magic player has like they're not
simplify how we think about format legality. Tell us about that.
Yeah, that's right. So I think we've gotten our feet under us when it comes to designing universes beyond sets. You know, Lord of the Rings was awesome, Fallout was awesome, did Assassin's Creed, we've done a bunch of other smaller stuff. We have a bunch of really cool stuff coming up
potentially
in 2025, which we will show
Lord
you
of the Rings is on a
shortly,
whole different level than everything else they've done.
Simplify how those work
for universes
relativity
beyond.
to the rest of Magic. We are saying all these future universes beyond sets, when they come out, they're going to be legal in every constructed format we offer.
Oh!
So,
that's
tell us about what that
pioneer,
means for
modern,
design, like
So we have been designing these sets.
That is, yeah. So expanding the legality of Universe Beyond, so they'll be legal in all formats, starting with the new. So starting with the new sets in 2025.
Play tested under this heuristic. We know that Universe
I would say Warhammer's up there too.
I would say I would put Warhammer as the number 2.
The goal of doing
like when they announced Lord of the Rings was a set, that just completely changed everything.
Into our competitive settings, and so dumping
then Warhammer's Warhammer
straight into competitive modern was a bit of a stretch.
But then Assassin's Creed felt like a letdown.
The smaller constructed
Fallout, Doctor Who kind of felt like a letdown.
Fallout is a letdown. A very cool set.
Well, the thing, I think both of them are very cool ideas, and like the cards are cool, but I don't think that they hit the same.
And ease them.
But with a lot of these, though, I feel like that's that because, like I said, there's one here later on that we're gonna hear.
That'll still be there.
That I really don't care too much about. You might. I have some friends that are,
like yourselves,
but not for me.
I think it's cool that we're gonna, take our foot off the gas with these straight to modern sets.
Okay.
Lord of the Rings changed modern a lot. The Horizon sets changed modern a whole lot. It's just not feasible for us to keep trying to do that multiple times a year with Universes Beyond releases. We want to save that little special ignition of change and
they're saving it
for modern, for the occasional.
They're saving it for Marvel
set, but
they're saving it for Marvel because that has to be.
We want to go through our normal process. They should feel like normal Magic sets. We play test them the same.
Well, then that kind of goes into the Disney realm. Do they going to do Disney?
As every other Magic set that we do.
I mean,
Marvel
is technically Disney, yeah.
Spider-Man's not, so that's why I think they can release that first. I think that's like their foot in the door, because that's still Sony.
So it's a big change. I get it, but it's just going to make everything so much simpler for everybody.
Now, with Foundations being legal for so long, with Universes Beyond sets now, we should booster tentpole releases. We may do other things, but being legal in all formats,
don't skip past that. What does that mean?
How are we now thinking about our release calendar, Aaron?
Yeah, so we'll show the specifics shortly, but the calendar for next year
already seen
is
now.
half Magic Multiverse sets and half Universes Beyond sets, with Foundations providing that constant extra, fourth Magic theme set.
So balancing our world with others, equal number of new Magic Multiverse sets and Universes Beyond sets with Foundation as the constant backbone.
We're going to show you some of them soon.
I don't know how you feel about that.
Balance that against our own Magic
the equal number.
You saw the work we're doing with Netflix.
Equal number of new multiverse sets. So if we travel back to one, which we are, little heads up for you, we are traveling back this next year. I wonder if that counts then.
At getting folks in the door and even exciting
existing
fans about these properties.
So if they release 5, it would be
and do both of them as much as possible.
two,
and one.
So we're about to show you 2025.
I would think, right?
We're going to run through the year.
Maybe.
And we're going to talk about almost everything.
Yeah, because here's
Jackie, set the table for us a little bit on building out the worlds of 2025.
Because
new. I know earlier I talked about the philosophy that we're really approaching.
Universe Beyond, new Universe Beyond,
Magic of
and then
really
the one we don't know about.
Into our legacy and
around the 4th month of the year I'm going to be broke.
Trying to springboard off of that and really bring new content.
I'm just say that right now.
To experience. So we're going to be
for everyone out there. If you want to make sure that the boy can eat food,
new ways.
Watch all the videos from the beginning of the year to the 4th.
Return to a very beloved setting.
I need the money.
And really exploring more of the world building and storytelling there.
Well, I'll explain why I'm saying that once that hits because I'm actually very excited about it. About that set.
Amazing partnerships.
That's the one I'm most excited
about.
We
are going to travel to a brand new area of the Blind Eternities.
Ooh.
What?
What?
So this timeline is going to prettier as we go along.
This isn't bad either.
Fill everything in.
2, 4, 6, 8 for release dates.
3-letter.
Yeah, with our first sort of tentpole, all formats legal release of 2025. Mark Rosewater.
Yes.
Tell us about DFT. What's DFT?
Okay, DFT. So next February.
So this is one. I'm going to pause real quick before this. This is one of the ones that I don't really care for, and I think this is to me this is dumb. To me.
Okay, fair enough.
To me, this is dumb.
So,
but like I said,
we have
Aether Drift.
We had the war of we had March of the Machines. There's a giant war.
A high-speed, high-stakes death race.
A big vehicle-driven
planeswalkers, but other people could travel between worlds.
Mm-hmm.
And so we said to ourselves,
so it's Mad Max. It's the Mad Max world that they were going to do.
We build something we can never build
so
before.
High-speed, high-stakes death race across 3 planes that brings fans a mixture of fresh and new ways to explore Magic.
Not on 2 worlds, but on 3 different worlds. And what is that event? Well, we're going to have a race, what we refer to as a death race internally. And then one of the cool things about racing, you get action, you get suspense, you get danger, and we're really going to play into that idea. So one of the cool things is because we're on more than one world, we get to show things off. So let's go to the next slide. So
that is kind of a cool thing.
I'm not allowed to tell you exactly the 3 worlds, but if you look at the pictures, these are the 3 worlds.
You can kind of see what they are.
World number 1.
That's Amonkhet, I think. That one is.
World number 2.
Because the pyramid in the background.
And then world number 3 is a world that we've mentioned before, but we haven't visited in a full set before. That might have dinosaurs. So that
I think we're going. I think it's Kaladesh, Amonkhet, and then I don't know what the last place is.
We want to talk about the creative,
but
it's not a faction set. We'll get to the faction set in a second. But there are each color pair is itself one of the racing teams. You want to talk about the racing teams?
Yeah, I think there are many, many racing teams engaged in this giant cross-planar race. But each color pair, in the way the set's structured, if you draft it, you will get to experience this is a different kind of team. We can take a look at some of the art coming up here. You know, there's a goblin team of racers, which I think everyone would expect.
Dude's like, I'm in.
Weirder. The next one is
under my breath.
an insect team of racers.
Oh, one thing I should say.
What was the Hanna-Barbera one? Like
the Speed Racer, right?
No, it was like it was.
There's a zombie.
It was like this old school cartoon on like Cartoon Network, like that style.
Hold on a second.
And what are these teams competing for?
I'll look it up real quick.
Looking at that.
This is called the Ether Spark.
Yeah. The Ether Spark. Wait a minute.
The grand prize, and so the winner of the race gets this, and so. One of the things we're talking about, while there's a lot of exciting
wacky racers.
There we go, wacky racers. Neat space,
so wait a minute, so the Ether Spark.
And so I want to go to Jack. I mean, there is some emotion at the heart of this story.
Yeah. On the surface, I feel like this set is action-packed, and it has these blockbuster set pieces. But, you know, as Mark said, underneath the surface of that, we have some really deep, heartfelt storytelling. Yes.
Okay, I see what it is now.
And one of the most amazing parts of the story is we get to explore a little bit more about Chandra.
So
I know when we last left her and Nissa off, it was
Chandra is racing to get the Aether Spark to give Nissa back her spark.
Revisit their story here.
That's what it's going to be.
Chandra actually enters this incredibly dangerous race with the hopes of winning the coveted Aether Spark for Nissa.
There it is!
Which is amazing. So we get to explore more of their relationship and
So what
because Nissa got desparked.
We'll have to find out.
At the end of March of the Machines.
Now, of course,
so she's no longer a planeswalker.
For this one. And as Marcus said, there are going to be vehicles like this year.
One of the questions we had out of exploratory design was
Earth Rumbler.
We went to play design. We said, how many vehicles can we have in the set? Like what is we wanted to have the most vehicles possible.
It's a cool looking card. Looks cool.
Obviously, vehicles. If you have too many, you get into trouble. So we spent a lot of time talking about what can vehicles do when they're not, before they become creatures? And we did a lot of
exile an artifact or creature card from your graveyard. This vehicle becomes an artifact creature.
And we're not only
so you don't even need to crew it. You can just exile stuff and boom.
Entering this race.
All right.
Like our buddy DeNutte.
I love the race flag.
What could the first world be? Where could it be? Who else likes vehicles?
Oh, shit, I didn't even notice that. Yeah, that's actually really kind of cool with the set logo.
DeNutte, by the way, DeNutte has lost his spark, if you can't tell by the fact that it is a creature card, not a planeswalker card.
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
And we've got one more preview card that may give you another hint about where we may be going. I don't know. We'll see. Let's take a look at a new Gear Hulk.
Yeah.
Bright glass Gear Hulk.
More Gear Hulk.
Yeah.
2 green, 2 white, 4/4, first strike trample, and his battlefield.
We're not
search the library.
anything else about it. It's.
You may search the library. I didn't read the last one. I probably should have. You may search the library for up to 2 artifact, creature, and or enchantment cards with a mana value of 1 or less. Reveal them and put them in your hand and shuffle. Okay. Okay.
Cool.
Yeah.
It is a good card. It is a good Magic the Gathering card that you should cast. All right, so that is it for.
And you can basically go get if you don't have Soul Ring, you can get Soul Ring.
Timeline pretty again.
For that.
And that's going to lead us into Rosewater again, telling us what is TDM.
Here we go.
Okay, TDM stands for.
So before this one gets going, this is going back to a set, right?
Yeah.
This is what got me back into Magic after college. This set did, because I got back from college. I was trying to figure out what I was doing with life, and of course, Magic's just around. So I went and bought some stuff, and the stuff that I bought was from this world, and now we're going back to it, and I can't be more excited about this.
Tarkir Dragonstorm.
Tarkir Dragonstorm, baby.
Okay, so 10 years ago, we first
10 years,
visited
Jesus, 10 years ago.
And we learned it was the home planet of Sarkhanval.
Yeah, look at that.
All the dragons have been killed off, and the cons run wild, and it had Wedge, the very first set with Wedge gameplay. But then Sarkhan went back in time and changed the timeline, and now dragons reign supreme. So one of our guidelines in designing this set was the mantra, the best of both worlds. Do you like Wedge play? You'll get it. Do you like dragons? You'll get that as well. And so it is everything that you loved about about Tarkir smashed together.
Oh, this is going to be so awesome.
And speaking of worlds, that sounds like Jackie's cue to tell us about how do you smash these things together with a time travel nonsense and all that jazz?
Yeah. I know we're all raised that we're not supposed to pick our favorite children, but this set is the most visually stunning thing I've seen recently that we've created. It is so cinematic and exciting, and when you look at these cards, like the art really comes to life. It's incredible. You know, yes,
I love how she's saying that while this card's on the screen.
New dragons. We're bringing back old dragons, and we're also going to be bringing back the 3-color clans.
I love this
people
picture.
of Tarkir, yes.
Was that was the really that was the cool thing was like, so the set was like, it was all clan based. And, like, each clan was based off of, like, dragons that used to exist thousands of years ago, but they killed them all, so now each clan, like, represents it sort of thing. And then in the second set, because this was back when there was blocks, there was 3 blocks, right? So you got to fully explore this world for 3 sets. In the second set, it was going back in time to before the dragons got killed. And Sarkhan Vol changed the timeline so the dragons lived. Fast forward to the final block now, and in the final block, all of the dragons are now dragon lords. None of the clans exist, so the 3-color clans are now 2-color dragon lord, like, led clans. So it was a really cool shift of, like, because they still maintain the basic, like, idea throughout all 3 sets, but they evolved it as it went on. So, like, for me, I like the Obzon, and Obzon was all about Outlast. So it's literally just endgame sort of stuff, right?
Yeah.
So you would tap your cards to put a 1/1 counter on them. If they get a 1/1 counter on them, then they get, like, first strike. If you put down another creature, it says if a creature has a 1/1 counter on it, it gets trample. So, like, that boosts everybody. By the third set, instead of having Outlast, because Outlast was a clan ability, now it was Bolster, and Bolster was just whoever has the lowest toughness, put a 1/1 counter on it. So it was the same basic concept, but a little bit different because it's no longer clans, it's now Dragon Lord, like that sort of thing. So that was my other thing too, is like, also green-white dragons, blue-black dragons, green-white dragons. Like there was so many different like,
combination you don't normally see.
Exactly, and that was really the cool thing because they actually dug into it. So like, there's white dragons, just straight up white dragons. There's just black dragons. There's just blue dragons. And it was like, you don't see this shit. And that was my other thing I really liked about it. So that's why I'm so
have picked up the banners of the old 3-color clans, and as we thought about what might that look like, we really wanted to give them a fresh new look, while again honoring where they came from and their origins. And so we worked really closely with cultural consultants to really build in a lot of like depth to these clans and really bring them to life in new ways.
Yeah.
I gotta start saving for a collector booster because I'm gonna buy one.
Our good dragon boyfriend is coming. We're not going to show his full card, but Jackie, Sarkhan's back, right?
I mean, how could we revisit Tarkir and not have him?
Yeah,
come
see,
back?
there he is.
Yes.
There he is. There's the boy.
Sarkhan heard dragons, and he was there immediately.
So we know from Aftermath that he got desparked.
Yep.
But you're right, you can't go to Tarkir and not have Sarkhan Vol. But he's not the only character that's coming back. And this one is a Planeswalker. So
this is going to be,
we have a Planeswalker that played a really important role in the original story.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, his death caused a lot of problems. So we have,
Oh, he's back, baby.
And Ugin.
It's cool hearing the reaction.
So
that's a lot of abilities.
We're not showing the card text yet, but yeah.
It sucks because I used to have an Ugin card, like an OG original Ugin card.
Yeah.
Did you sell it? Did you lose it?
I gave it to fucking Nick. I gave it to Booba.
I told you you couldn't say anything till now, but
of course, Booba is now super sweaty with it.
Yeah, let's take a look at a showcase frame from this set. We call this the Dragonfire frame.
The Dragonfire frame?
That's
hit him with a
that's
that's cool.
Yeah, so we
so I'm going to be buying a collector booster
way
box
back in M21 when we were first playing around with some of these alternate frames, there was one card in the set that had this frame inspired by Ugin. We've always loved it.
That's going to hurt the old bank
I have it up in my
account.
office, and we've always tried to find a way to get back to it, and then this set came along. So there's a collection of cards in this set with these amazing frames that harken back to both Ugentoll history and even M21.
Yeah.
I like it.
So that is Tarkir Dragonstorm.
Okay.
Very exciting set, but possibly even more exciting is our partnership coming up.
So this is the
Final
one.
Fantasy.
This is the one that I don't care for, just because I'm not a Final Fantasy guy.
Timeline to show where Final Fantasy
Like I said,
is sitting.
it's the same thing with Fallout and Doctor Who. Like
2025.
Cool.
This set
I'm
is
excited for everyone that
so
enjoys
special,
Final Fantasy.
We're not even
But
talk
for
about
me
it. We're gonna
personally,
let some even more special people.
I think
come
so.
on and tell
I
you
got
all about
really into like Final Fantasy X. I think that was like the only one I really got into. I love that universe.
Tokyo, Japan.
Hello everyone, I'm Shoichi Ichikawa, a producer of the Final Fantasy series. I'm standing here as the #1 fan of Magic at Square Enix.
Watashi wa Zakil desu, Final Fantasy ga daisuki desu. And I'm Zakil from Wizards of the Coast, the creators of Magic the Gathering, and today we're here to talk to you about something incredibly special.
この度私たちはマジック・ザ・ギャザリングとファイナルファンタジー、この2つのビッグタイトルを融合させる夢のコラボレーションを実現させました。このセットではファイナルファンタジー1から16まで全てのナンバリングタイトルを網羅し、そのカード一枚一枚からファイナルファンタジーの息吹を感じることができると思っています。
This collaboration is more than just cards. It's about celebrating decades of iconic
characters
and legendary stories from one of the most beloved franchises in video game history.
ファイナルファンタジーの壮大な物語とマジック・ザ・ギャザリングの戦略的なゲームプレイの融合はテーブル上にこれまでにない最高峰のエンターテインメントになってくれると確信しています。
And for us at Wizards of the Coast, Final Fantasy represents a rich universe that is a natural fit for Magic's gameplay. The characters, the epic battles, and deeply emotional stories, everything comes together in a way that feels magical.
本セットではティナやライトニング、そして私の愛するクラウドなどファイナルファンタジーの代表的なキャラクターが登場します。もちろんファイナルファンタジーシリーズでおなじみの召喚獣やモンスター、そして伝説の武器など、きっとこのセットには皆さんの素敵な出会いがあると思います。もちろんチョコやベヒモスも。そしてこのセットを通してこれまでにないファイナルファンタジーの世界を皆さんに感じていただけたら幸せです。
This set also features the largest collection of Final Fantasy artwork ever in a single game, drawing from across the franchise. You'll see artwork from Magic artists, along with classic illustrations from legendary Final Fantasy artists, as well as brand new, breathtaking pieces made specifically for this set. This collaboration set will be available in June of 2025, and we can't wait for you to experience this epic crossover.
私はプロデューサーとして、そしてマジックのファンとして、このセットが本当に素晴らしいものになると確信しています。では最後に、We have a surprise for you. この素晴らしいセットのアートを少しだけ先にお見せしましょ
う。That looks sick. Okay. I have no idea what half this stuff is, but this looks awesome. Okay.
That's time.
I mean, the crowd's losing it right now, so I know that, dude. Like that's the one I do know.
Yeah.
Like I said, this is a really cool thing. I'm excited about it for people who love Final Fantasy. For me personally, not a massive thing, but I'm gonna buy some of it.
Yeah.
I just want to know: is it a commander set or is it a big set?
We can't share much.
Or is it an Assassin's Creed set?
Than that, but Zakil, who was on the video, he's on your team, right, Hagen?
Yeah, Zakil I get to work with every day, and it's funny, I was remembering back when we first hired him years ago, I asked him, Blue Sky, like, what's your dream project now that you're a wizard? He's like, it's Final Fantasy, my man.
Yeah.
And to get to see him over the last year plus, every day come in, getting to live this, bring his entire, like, he's been training for this his whole life, he brings all this passion and his love, and there's a lot of people that's true of across the building. So it was really a moment where Universes Beyond really kind of unlocked for me, and it's the stories we can tell and the cards we can make, you just kind of reach some other levels when you're tapping into this rich of a history.
All right. We're going to move back into
like I said,
I
don't
multiverse
now. That's my question.
Journey down the
is which one is it?
Rosewater, why don't you tell us a bit about what EOE is?
Edge of Eternities. So one of the things that's really cool about Magic, when Magic started,
Edge of Eternities.
it was very centered in traditional high fantasy.
So I'm going to cut him off real quick there because I just want to go over this with you. So that's the whole thing. This is explore the cosmos and its many planets and systems in this space-themed science fantasy setting. Now, I don't know if you remember or not when they were talking about it, and they were saying, like, these are some of the ideas we have, and one of them was a space setting.
Yeah.
And we were like, well, how is that going to work? Well, apparently we're going to find out this year, right? But it is interesting.
So this would be all new, more or less.
This should be all new. I mean, it's interesting because, like you just said real quick, you could hear Mark talking about it in the background, about high fantasy. Magic's always been high fantasy, right?
Not
and now,
science fiction.
Exactly. So now we're going to space, and I don't really know how to feel about it, but I will say some of the arts that we see here, it looks fantastic.
Really
but it is interesting though, because like
fantasy can be, and looking.
I've always been in the department of like sci-fi and fantasy are just like siblings.
This year is a great example.
Because it's like they're not really that.
We decided to go
to
a brand new space. We are doing.
I just like, for instance, I want to know how are they going to do green.
We are going out. We are taking sort of mixing the fun of science fiction and the glory of fantasy and bringing. I mean, when I say space, I mean planets and spaceships and alien creatures and like all the things that come with doing a space.
I'm assuming that each planet is going to be a different.
And it looks. The whole
color.
thing looks amazing.
Maybe,
I'm going to talk a little bit about this because this is. It really.
And whales.
I'm buying. I don't know what this card is. I'm buying it. Look at that.
We have
like a
dabbled in space with Magic a little bit before through Infinity, which people will remember, which is great.
Yeah, Infinity.
But this is a completely different type of take.
Yeah.
Which
it's
is
really
such a cool set.
serious, deep
such a hilarious set.
Dive into what exploring again.
They're like, look at that planet right there.
Can look like this blending that feels
like
really
green, right? Like that's
true and authentic to.
I mean, she looks sick.
And
she looks like something out of Dune.
Everything you could expect from space with star fields and strange planets. And at the same time, everything is really rooted in Magic, in the color pie. There was so much thoughtfulness that the creative team put into like the logic behind like this isn't just space for space's sake. Like how is this connected within the Blind Eternities? And later down the road we'll explain a lot more than that. You'll get more details. But it's just really exciting to do something so fresh and new that really feels authentic and true.
Yeah, and kudos to your team. The world builders really had to stretch on this one. It is so different and required so much new material. It's not one world. It's a whole
I can only imagine what it must have been like to do with this one, right?
Oh,
Yeah, because it's such like a
different races you haven't not seen.
I guess like at the end of the day, this one might sound stupid. It's the only difference is like technology, right?
Yeah, I mean technology and just like like I said, like how do you do green in space? Because you think of green, you always think of the same things. It's like plants, dinosaurs, elves, like that sort of thing. Are you just gonna do space elves? Like
yeah.
And there he is.
Yes.
There he is, baby.
I'm sure that planet is reassembling itself. That's got to be what's going on there. Okay.
The more I look at it, you know what he looks like?
Look at Edge of Eternities. We're
Magneto.
wandering into far-flung territory here now.
Yeah.
If you paid attention last week, we can go back to our timeline here. We talked a very little bit about SPM.
SPM.
What is SPM?
SPM is Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
But now,
I want to talk
I also have
about
more questions about
me
this.
is the specialness of Universes Beyond. So when I was a little kid, I was like 7 or 8. I remember waking up one day. My dad had bought a comic book from the store next to where he worked, and he left it on the counter. And it was a Spider-Man comic. And it was the first comic I ever read. And I got really into comics. It's been a big part of my life. And that one of the things that's truly amazing about Universes Beyond that you don't really understand till it's the property that you love. But I remember the first time I sat down to play Spider-Man and getting to play Magic, which is a game I love with all my heart.
That's the crazy thing. He sat down and played Spider-Man already.
It was so much fun. And it made me realize, like, the lightning in a bottle that is the Universes Beyond. That when you can bring just these amazing characters and worlds,
he seems to
magic,
like just
and
love
play
all
with
this.
them.
Oh yeah, no, that's the thing. Like,
so much fun working on
I
this.
love
And
Mark
this
Rosewater.
is the first of our Marvel booster releases. not for last.
The first. All right. We're almost done with our tour of 2025. Mark, what's UUB?
UUB. So UUB stands for Unannounced Universes Beyond. So we said there's going to be 3 things this year. We wanted to show it's on the schedule. We haven't announced the 3rd one yet. It is an amazing IP. People will be very excited. I play tested it a whole bunch. It's a lot of fun. The art's amazing, but we can't tell you yet. So
We're not announcing it today.
Yeah, we can't say what it is, but it is amazing.
Now, Aaron, real quick, if anyone was paying attention, last year when we talked about the 2025 schedule, we had Return to Lorwyn on there. What happened to that one?
Yeah, so we felt like this was enough sets. Return
I think 6 is enough for a year.
So it's the first set that will be coming out in 2026. We've not forgotten about Lorwyn. It's one of my first loves as a Magic designer.
See, Lorwyn's another one of those ones that I don't really know too much about. So
the calendar flips to 2026.
Oh no!
Next year.
Oh, look at that.
But also,
yes,
in 2024, let's step back a sec.
Pioneer Masters comes. Oh, competitive Pioneer comes to Magic
Now
Arena.
we're not talking about 2026 or 2025. We're talking about this year. Something we've been talking about for a long time for all you Arena fans out there. When we created the Explorer format, it was always with, it always was kind of like Pioneer.
I mean, it would almost be impossible for them to do it. I just wanted to put, just put Commander on Arena already.
Platform to flip the
like I know there's versions of it on Arena, but I just
and match tabletop to, within only a tiny little bit. So we have a 398 card set, which closes that gap to the point where yes. Once this set comes out,
I literally I get on Arena, I play the new sets, and then I get off of Arena. Like that's all it is these days for me now.
99% fidelity.
Arena makes me just know how bad I am at Magic.
Arena's just it's annoying for me.
Is already thinking about what
because it's every day. Anytime you go on there, most of the time, if I play 10 games, I'll see 7 of the same decks.
Lotus Field fans
it's like, bro, I just
you're gonna get to do your thing on Arena when Pioneer Masters comes out.
But the set's not going to be just tournament, this feels weird to say this about this next card. It's not going to be just tournament staples. Sometimes you'll have fun casual cards like Jace, Friend's Prodigy.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like
if
Jace.
Past me could hear me say that now.
The set's also draftable. It's a wacky draft environment, pulling cards from the last, I don't even know how many years, put together by some of the folks on my team. So I'm looking forward to checking that one out when it comes out in December. And then, you'll get to play actual Pioneer.
Yeah. All right. So that is coming December 10th. Now we've got about 8.5 minutes left. And Hagen, you've been, again, uncharacteristically quiet, man. Speak up. It's okay.
I got the
I'm going to give you this entire section. You can just run this.
I got the MSRP thing.
Talk about collectability.
Yeah. I mean, he got one of the biggest.
Let's move into collectability.
Okay, we have a few announcements here for what we're doing on the collectible side. We're going to start with the Japan Showcase. So the Japan Showcase
phenomenal
is a little
looking
group of cards that we debuted with Duskborn.
Phenomenal looking.
And the idea here is to have a kind of like a fully authentic pipeline where we can create cards that are kind of really inspired by Japan, which is a real TCG epicenter of the world. So we have dedicated art director Yuki, he's here somewhere, who works at the studios there, an artist there, and we just did some amazing work. We're going to keep that going, so you can expect Japan Showcase cards coming with every set. And I think we brought a few from Foundations.
Including something that you may not have seen before. Let's see.
So we have Day of Judgment. Kaito's showing up.
Oh,
and look at that land of
Look at the Lorien Elves.
Is no joke.
Dude.
So so you can expect these. They'll work we're happy with how they worked in Duskborn, so you'll have the
that's
fracture foil and all that.
Just
We're gonna keep the party going.
That's just fire.
So the Japan Showcase is something, again, in this era,
it's
something we're doing a lot, right?
We're just super happy with how it's going.
So it's going to be in. It's going to be in Aether Drift too.
Spark, and you can see again different looking cards, different styles, but they're really true to that part of the world.
Yeah, no, I love the look of these.
We haven't spent much time talking about Innistrad Remastered, which is coming in
January,
so
this is the first, technically the first set of the new year, but they're not counting it as a set because it's a remaster.
Let's throw up a little bit of Innistrad Remastered, just a smidge of Innistrad Remastered
remastering
stuff.
Innistrad, which is a new thing they're doing, is that you're remastering worlds.
Hey, surprise, Liliana's here.
Yeah, Liliana's here.
Yes.
So Innistrad Remastered is going to release on January 24th. So we're looking forward to
12 days after my birthday.
Starting for that in December, but we
already
pre-ordered
collector booster.
Today, Mark,
it's $30.
It's something new that your team is doing.
Yeah, we have a new little twist coming, starting with Innistrad Remastered. We call it the Headliner. So it's super fun. The idea is with every set, we're going to take one card. We're going to kind of go all out on it from a creative side.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
We're just going to give some focus to it and kind of make it easier to think about, what's in a set, what's that kind of the dream pull.
That's kind of
cool.
The
Headliner is just a card that we've chosen and kind of given that special title. So we're going to take a look at the Headliner from Innistrad Remastered. This is kind of how we're going to kick things off.
Of course, it's Edgar Markov. Of course, it's Edgar Markov.
So you can see this, we have we really took the leash off. Our teams are just going wild.
Yeah.
You can see this card.
I'll be honest, dude.
Not your ordinary card.
I don't like the look of the card.
Yeah. But that's
I love
not
it.
the only
It's
way
like
you can
old,
get
like,
Edgar Markov in the set,
like
correct?
a 30s movie poster.
Edgar Markov is just a card in the set,
It's
like the other cards, and so it has a normal
movie
version, a retro version, and then this Fang frame that we've done before.
See, I like
so
the
these
middle
are all
one.
in the set, and then kind of on top of that, there's just a very few copies of the Headliner, which is kind of that ultimate chase version. Again, it's a way to just kind of like focus the story.
This card's broken,
focus
by
the
the way.
experience of
I
the
don't know
set.
have you seen this
That's
card?
the one you want.
So it's 3 colorless, red, white, black for a 4/4 with Eminence.
Jesus Christ.
Whenever you cast another vampire spell, if Edgar Markov is in the command zone or on the battlefield, create a 1/1 black vampire creature token. First strike, haste, and when he attacks, you put a counter on all vampires. Broken.
All right, now you said we're doing this Headliner program going forward.
Yep.
Can you show us any more?
Yeah, we can go ahead and take a look at the next one. Here is the Headliner, a little bit of the Headliner from Ether Drift.
Oh, so they're doing it for each set. Oh.
Yeah, so
if you're worried we're not going to innovate in 2025, look at the type line.
yeah, so as mentioned before, this is the kind of trophy from that story. It's the ultimate goal, and so we picked.
Yeah,
it
I
for
might
the
need
Headliner.
I might
again,
need like a bank loan or something when Tarkir comes out,
even
bro.
the few words we left on here are pretty exciting, and this is an amazing version of that card when you see it in person.
Now, I noticed that the Edgar Markov
Wait, hold up a sec.
one, there's serialized versions.
Legendary Artifact Planeswalker.
Serialization's a thing we've been experimenting with.
Wait a minute.
It has a lot of fans, but no, the answer is not always. Sometimes it feels correct. You can do cool stuff with it.
And it's an
Other
equipment.
times we're
Hold up
doing
a second.
headliners,
Bro,
again, very
what just
rare,
happened?
Very cool, very chase, but we don't need to put the serial number on them to get the job done. And in fact, if we don't do the serial number, it kind of unlocks some production techniques. We can do other print things that we can do just because of the way the machines work.
For example,
I'll give you a peek of that. So for Edge of Eternities,
whoa!
This is just some playtest stuff. This is just prototypes that the team is working on.
Holy shit!
Again, there's this cool super black hole called Sothera that's kind of central to the story. So that's our Headliner here, and this version of the card, it's some of the wildest stuff we've done. There's this technology for the first time in Magic called the Fresnel lens, I'm told, and the team worked with our operations team and our factories, and they've unlocked it. So it's really an amazing thing. I actually brought one of these samples. And you got to see it up close to believe it. So if you catch me later on today, grab me and maybe I'll show you this up person. You got to see it up close.
Yeah. They actually let him out of the building with that. Amazing. Now, Hagen, also in your world is Secret Lair. We did the Secret Lair thing before the show. It was fun.
I don't know if I shared this with you, DeNutte, or not.
Yeah, Secret Lair is going to keep the party going. The team behind that is just really picking up steam and pushing things. So expect a lot of great content.
I didn't. Oh my God, I did. I can't wait for you to see this.
We've seen before.
Nope.
I think today we're just going to show you all just kind of like a sample platter of some of the stuff we have going.
These could be anything.
Artwork on the middle one and the right.
Old artists we love, new creative gags, just some really wild stuff that you've come to expect from Secret Lair.
Look at the one all the way on the left, bro.
It's time to play.
I know you're looking at the one all the way on the right, aren't you?
Yeah, exactly what I was looking at. I love it.
Yeah.
I love our eyes when you complete opposite
that
ones.
one might be a mountain.
Food token.
Yeah, can you guess what that one is?
The token's cool.
But yeah, so again, you really can see that the team is just kind of keep pushing,
Look at that.
keeping exploring, and I think people will be really excited about some of the stuff we see. Look at that.
Yeah.
That has to be Chandra.
Now, before I let you go, we've seen a bunch of cool art here, but Secret Lair also does some partnerships from time to time. Do we have anything there we can share with the fans?
Yeah, like the rest of Magic, Secret Lair gets to work with cool partners. We can't announce any partnerships, but we have some really cool stuff coming this year. And there's one I'm really excited about. It's, in my opinion, it's some of the most like hardcore, intense kind of like rock and roll Magic we've ever put out, and I think people are going to love it.
You had mentioned SpongeBob, and I was like, huh?
Yep.
So, Mark doesn't talk often, but when he talks.
It's happening.
All
Dude,
right.
this is so ridiculous.
So the little timer on the stage is telling me we are just about done here. We're not completely done. There's one more thing. Once I'm done talking,
one more thing.
We're going to show you one more thing. Before we do that, reminder again, Terry
I think the
Natale
thing is the video that they're showing
Magic
for
the
the
Gathering Netflix show will be in room 119 at 5:30
119
to sign
DeNutte.
things and definitely not answer your questions about the show. But you can ask. Everything we talked about today is going to be found on dailymtg.com at the conclusion
the
of the
final
show.
thing
Maybe
is just
some of
the
it will be there already.
is the Foundations. The final thing is the Foundations trailer. I don't know if you want to see that or not. You know.
Yeah.
You do want to see that?
Unless you want to watch it. Unless you want to watch it.
No,
You've already seen it, right?
I know what it is. It's just it's the normal trailer where it's like a kid gets a Magic pack and then he grows up and then he finds a girlfriend in a library and she's like, "Oh, you play Magic too?" And then they have a kid and then it's like the dad's like old birthday and like he's about to open up a Foundations pack and start playing with his daughter. That's the video. It's to get people in, but
love.
Yeah. All right. So that was MagicCon Vegas, the Foundations of a New Era. What did you think? It was a lot.
It was a lot. You know, I feel like after watching these before, this is the least amount they've given us because, like, we've watched ones where it's like just like here's here's artwork, here's a lot of stuff. This one I feel had the least amount of that, but it's also because they were announced, I guess, essentially six sets and then talked about Foundations too.
Yes, and that's the thing is, like I said, there is a
not even 6 sets, but
there is a full
5 sets in Secret Lair, and
because there is a full, like I said, there's a full 50-minute video that's just about Foundations. They show a ton of the cards that are in the set. Like they talk about like some of the new stuff, like the damage stuff I was talking about. So like there is that. So like I said, yeah, I agree with you. I do think this is more of the tease aspect of things. This is what we have like coming down the pipeline sort of thing. I'm like I said, I'm up and down on a lot of stuff, and it's that thing as well where it's like we said, like a little bit of the tease stuff, like exactly what are we getting for the Spider-Man and Final Fantasy world? Are we getting just Commander decks? Are we going to get a Assassin's Creed like mini set? Is it going to be the big full-on Lord of the Rings stylings, right?
Yeah.
That's my questions that I have with that set, with those aspects of it. The other stuff, I just want to see more. I just want to see more already. I mean, Aether Drift kind of don't really, but I mean, the other two though, I want to see more of.
You know, it's funny because I think for a set, I think that's the one I like the most.
Oh, really?
Yeah, out of the 3 normal sets.
That's funny.
Yeah, I think that's the one that like piques my interest the most.
Yeah, see, for me it's Tarkir, but like I said, for me that's also the.
It
connects back to something. Yeah, it's the same thing. Like if they announced somehow that like Kamal actually didn't die, as soon as I found out what set that was, I'd be all in on that set. Like wouldn't care how bad it is, I'm in. Like done, right? So that's my thing. Like I said, I like these. It's the same thing. I'm gonna say it's the same thing when to bring up another card game, Lorcana. Lorcana did their first Lorecast like a year ago. When they did their first Lorecast, it was like an hour and a half long. And it's kind of very much a similar thing, right? They just talking. And within the more recent times they've done the Lorecast, the last 2 of them I think it is, it's been a lot more condensed. It's like 30 minutes now. 20 minutes, and it's literally just the main game designer being like, here's some of the cards, here's all the new products, here's a trailer that we have for the new set, here's all the stuff, what do you guys think? Which
is a good sweet spot,
and that's it, done. And it's beautiful because it hits everything. If they did something like that more with this sort of stuff, which I get it's a convention, so it's not just a pre-produced thing.
Yeah, that's right? like a panel people go to, like how, I mean, at the end they were promoting the panel for the show, like it's like a whole panel thing, which You know, like a lot of these, even like when I just went to Granite State Comic Con, like that was all about panels. And I didn't go to. I've been to a few cons, and I've still never been to a panel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things. I like these because they show us and they tell us a lot of stuff. Like I said, though, I knew everything here, so my thing was more just kind of like actually listening to all of the things that are said, not just what I saw on Twitter. And also getting DeNutte's reaction to a lot of the stuff as well was kind of my thing as well. So, like, I already got all the info from Twitter, but hearing some of the background stuff that I didn't get to see from Twitter, because Twitter's, this is what it is, here's the picture.
So, top thing, MSRP.
Yeah, the biggest thing was MSRP. Out of all this,
I think we could agree on that. Yes. Yeah, because, like, which is still funny where that guy's like, I don't think they'd be that excited about it.
Yeah, it just shows you the complete disconnect, right?
Yeah.
With it, because again, no.
Because the first one they were like, oh, the collectible guy, he's like, this is who we blame.
Yeah.
Which, like, initially that's what you would think, and then it's.
And then he comes out and he drops the fire of that, and then he goes, oh, and here's all the new Japan Showcase things, and here's the new headliner thing, and here's this, and here's this, and every time he just said here's this, it's like.
That was like the coolest stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Japan Showcase. I mean, SpongeBob.
Yeah, This is gonna be an interesting year for Magic. I know there's more Magic cons, of course, like there always is. There's always like 3 a year, so we'll be back again to do more reactions to this sort of stuff. We're gonna be playing Magic throughout the rest of the year too of next year. We already have some games lined up that we're going to do. I need to somehow build a Assassin's Creed deck so we can do Warhammer vs. Assassin's Creed, because I think that would be funny.
That would be funny.
I have an idea for it, but it's just going to be such a pain to make.
Execution. Yeah. Definitely going to have to single out a lot of stuff.
Yes. And then I'm going to be doing a bunch of unboxing stuff, especially for the Tarkir set. Tarkir set for me, I'm going to be, like I said, I'm probably going to start looking at what are the prices that they have online right now for collector booster boxes, and then slowly just start hoarding money away so that I can eventually buy one. Because like I said, that's the big set. I was gonna do it for Bloomborough. I didn't do it for Bloomborough. I'm kind of actually happy that I didn't do it for Bloomborough.
Bloomborough, I just feel like wasn't what they said it was gonna be.
Yeah, Bloomborough
creature. They're like it's 100% creatures. I open boosters. Like I'm like most of these are humans.
Yeah, it was very odd because I bought the rat deck. Oh no, the rat deck. I bought the squirrel deck.
Yes, that's right.
Promoted as a squirrel deck. There's all these different squirrels, and then I have Witherbloom Belladros, the dragon from Strixhaven in it. I have rats. I have this. I have that, and it's like it's not. Oh, by the way, it's not a squirrel deck. It's a token deck, and I'm like, okay, would have been nice to know that before I got excited about it. I bought the bundle, didn't get anything in the bundle. You know, and it's weird. It's funny that you said about you buying the bundle for Duskmourn, because that's how I felt. The last couple bundles I bought up until Bloomborough was it just felt like there's not a whole lot that I'm getting out of this. The cards that I am getting out of this, I don't really want. And that's why I've backed off to now just getting collector boosters. So this one I think I will, because it's, like I said, it's a world that I know I like.
What brought you back.
Yeah, so what I'll probably do is I'll probably pre-order stuff, and then I'll just look at it.
The space one is cool, too.
The space one I probably... like out of everything we just saw, I'll say like for monetary-wise, for potential unboxings for everyone out there, Aether Drift I'm just going to get a collector booster. Tarkir I'm probably going to do something stupid for. And then make an OnlyFans account so I can pay for it. Final Fantasy, I'm probably just going to get a collector booster for. The space set, I'll probably do a collector booster and the bundle. Because I do genuinely like the set. And also, I can only imagine what the full art lands look like in that. Yeah, give me the bundle so I can get those, baby.
I want to know what that final card he was showing off with that new technology.
Mm-hmm. Yes, agreed. And then the Spider-Man set, like I said, I don't know what that's going to be.
That could be anything. And, is it just be... Is it going to be like a multiverse Spider-Man where it's everything?
Mm-hmm.
What's it going to be? Is it just going to be Assassin's Creed where it's just
it's like a weird mini set that's just kind of So we're finding out. Very exciting though. Nonetheless, very exciting. So but That's enough for us rambling now. Thank you all for stopping by and watching this all with us. And we'll be back sometime soon with the effing card game here.
Yep.
We got 2 episodes coming up for the end of the year. 2 left. I think we can just immediately say it's Lorcana and Magic.
Yeah. We got Assassin's Creed and new Lorcana.
Boom. So very excited about that. And then we'll probably be doing maybe 1 or 2 more random special episodes coming down the pipeline too. I have no idea though. But so yeah.
Keep it flexible.
Exactly. Flexible. Just flex it out, baby. Just loosey goosey, right? Just a little loosey goosey. All right. So thank y'all for stopping by and hanging out today. We appreciate it as always. And depending on where you are, morning, afternoon, even night, stay out of trouble, stay safe, and we'll talk to y'all later. Okay, bye.